What's poppin', everybody? This is the cartoon kid Ray Rawlins, and today we're continuing the 25 Days of Christmas Cartoons marathon with a Nickelodeon show called Real Monsters. And this episode is season 1, episode 6, part 2. What was the episode called? You remember?
Going
I
shopping. Going shopping, I think it was.
Yeah, here we go. Back into it. Going shopping. Now, as usual, man, before we get into this episode, we got Mr. Alex Payne here to give us the episode breakdown. So what happens?
Well, I mean, this episode had a really simple plot, really. I'm gonna call them the three monsters because this is the first episode I ever seen in the show, so I don't know them by their names. So the monsters basically, they was in the mall and they ended up getting locked in the bathroom and getting locked into the mall in overall, and they're trying to find their way out. And while they're finding their way out, they get mesmerized by a lava lamp, and the security guard released some dogs, to keep the place safe, and the dogs scare away the monsters. And while this is going, and they're gonna try to escape from the dogs and shit. And while it's going on, someone else broke into the mall to try to steal shit. And eventually they steal the lamp, and the monster scares him away. And, the guy gets catch, and the monsters leave, I guess. So, yeah, that's the plot of the episode. My first impression is, if this is like labeled as a Christmas thing and all that other shit, but there was nothing Christmas about this. The only thing Christmassy about this was the friggin' moment when the dogs was pulling the sleigh.
See, I definitely do agree with you. And I say the second Christmas thing about it is the jingle bell sound effects in the background. So, to me, honestly, like this is my first time seeing anything from this series as well. And that's why I like these little marathon things. It gives us opportunity to check out stuff that we haven't seen before. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. And this is definitely crossing into the real review portion of this. But I gotta say it and get this off my chest right now, man. We seen plenty first time series, like maybe Pinky and the Brain is one of them. For me, it was Courage. So I'm able to pick out. Hold on, take a pause. I should have drank some water before this. Okay. And I'm usually able to get a good grasp of certain series and their characters really easily from one episode, regardless if I like it or don't like it. In this episode, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm definitely not feeling it. And you can say, yeah, it's probably because you don't know the characters like that, Ray. This is like a character-based episode. You could probably argue that. But for one, this was labeled as a Christmas episode, and there's nothing Christmassy about it. And two, it just feels very, boring to me. That's just me personally. That's my first impression. That's my, opinions. But with all that being said, I guess we can get on to the moments. Mr. Alex Payne, what are some of your moments from this episode?
My moment is when the security guard, like, he was kind of funny to me, especially when he, like, when the guy was leaving, and he friggin' released the dogs before the guy was fully out of the building and everything. That was funny to me. But other than that, I ain't got shit to really say. None of the moments really stuck out to me. I don't know.
I gotta say this too, man. The monsters, they had a freaking gold mine, yo. Kind of. They were locked in the mall, but them dogs was running around, so it was just. Listen, if I was locked in a mall at night, man, I would have so much fun on that motherfucker. I would steal so much shit. But the big question is, how would I get out of there? So, I mean, the monsters, I guess you could say, found a way. But man,
well, easy. I mean, most malls have some sort of tool shop or gardening shop or something. You can find something to break out with.
True, yeah, but you might trigger an alarm or something, But either way, it's just like I guess I don't have that many moments in this episode either. I do have to say though, that security guard, that motherfucker sleeps like Eustace. I swear to God, he do. That motherfucker was knocked out this entire episode with all that craziness going on, man. And another thing, the monsters look ugly as hell. You know, that's the point, I suppose. But monsters, I when I look at them, is it kind of weird that I think like a motherfucking Elmo and them, like you know the Muppets from Sesame Street, kind of.
uh, I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that if I think that's weird or not.
Let's get into the final reviews, man. This is gonna be a very quick one. I'm gonna go first. Why not? Like I said, this was labeled a Christmas episode. There's nothing Christmassy about it, and yeah, we had some series, a lot of them actually, that went during this marathon that we commended them for not being too Christmassy. However, still you can say that they had Christmas storylines. There was nothing Christmassy about this, man. Like you said, besides the dog pulling the sled and the jingle bell sound effects in the background. But besides that, there was nothing Christmassy about this at all. Um, you can also say, like I said before, this has been both of our first time watching this series at all, you know. And obviously, it'd be best to start with episode one, then to check out any future episodes or whatnot. But the whole premise of a cartoon is to see one episode, and this is my opinion, and you know everything what's going on in the entire series. You know the main characters, you know somewhat of their personality. You may not know everything about them, but you have a good idea of how they are. Because the whole premise of a cartoon is when it comes on for either the 8 or 15 minutes or whatnot that is going to be on, you know, there's no storyline that laps over. That's supposed to be like the somewhat main premise of a cartoon. That's the unspoken rule right there. So I didn't know the characters' names really, the monsters' names. I knew they were, you know, the three monsters. I didn't know much about their characters, obviously. And this, like I said, is my fault because I should have seen episode one. I should have been watching the series. But like I said, you should be able to pick up any cartoon and just start watching it from anywhere and have a good note of who these characters are and whatnot. Overall, like the story, I don't see the point of it. I honestly don't see the point of it. It seems kind of boring to me. It definitely seems meaningless. It's all I'm saying is not up there with like a Courage the Cowardly Dog, and yeah, you can argue that's holding holding it to a high regard, but it's just not it's not nothing special at all, and it's not. I wouldn't even say this is anything good, honestly. So I'm somewhat disappointed in this one, man. Very disappointed. It's a Nickelodeon cartoon. I expected it to do something good, but it explains why I haven't seen it on TV in a while. But we're gonna hit this one with I'm gonna keep it real. Really wasn't feeling this, so I'm gonna hit it with a 5 out of 10. I wasn't really digging. No, I wasn't liking this at all. But go ahead, Alex. What is your rating for this episode?
um, I think I'm gonna keep mine really simple. I feel like this episode was one that you probably would enjoy if you're familiar with the series, I imagine, or maybe
Of
even not.
course,
Who
of
who can
course.
say, or maybe even not. Who can say? But that I don't probably I feel like this is definitely a episode that a fan of the show would probably enjoy, not
Right.
like
Not a new
um
person watching it.
yeah.
Okay,
So
okay, fair enough.
yeah, so I mean I didn't I guess that's really all I could say. It's just I felt like the not really much was happening. It was definitely like supposed to be a concept episode where like concept, write a lot of jokes, haha, enjoy. But again, since we don't really know the character, it's funny because you could kind of compare this one to in terms of like concept in a way, but not really to the friggin' Star Wars episode of Foster's Home.
But listen. You can't even make that comparison because I didn't know much about the characters,
No, but that's
but
what I'm
I
saying.
enjoyed the fuck out of that episode.
No, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like again, it's not the same premise by a long shot. And plus, that one was longer too, which you could
Yeah, yeah,
argue
yeah. Time
maybe
difference.
would have even hurt it more. in
Uh-huh.
terms of whatever, but like you knew who like you didn't have to know the show to understand the characters and know that the characters was at their strong point, see like the characters play off of each other and all that other shit really well. In this one, I don't really know who was what or anything. They kind of
Yeah,
just saying like the characters were just there.
right. It was an episode, like you said, made for fans of the series, not for new viewers.
Either that or the characters again are just like very weak. I mean, again, like you said, it's kind of not fair to compare the Fosters because they have like some really strong characters. Like all of the characters are really different from each other, and they have like very flushed out personalities. So
Hmm.
I guess that's not really a fair comparison in that sense, I guess. But I don't know. The episode was just very empty and kind of boring. So yeah, I'm gonna give
Right.
it the same thing as you, a 5. I
Okay.
would give it something lower, but it wasn't offensive or nothing like that. And
Right. Right. Well, listen. At
yeah,
least this to you is better than South Park. But with
I mean,
all
listen,
that being,
anything is better than South Park.
I don't. I honestly don't think so. But listen, that's it. That's all, man. We both give this episode a 5 out of 10. Simply put, this is an episode made for fans, not for new viewers, man. So if you're a new viewer to this series, don't watch this. That has been our review for Real Monsters, Season 1, Episode 6, Part 2, Going Shopping. This is the Cartoon Kid channel where we talk cartoons and we do it daily, baby. And we're continuing on with the 25 Days of Christmas Cartoons Marathon. Leave your comment down in the comment box below. Tell us what you think of this episode, if you liked it, if you hate it, or tell us if you got any future cartoons for us to review, either for this marathon or in the near future, man. We're always open to suggestions and all that good stuff. Until then, we will see you when we see you. Peace out, everybody.